Greetings and salutations, my fellow gods. I hope all is well today, and I give you my latest speed paint. We've got a very rough sketch going on. When I look at it now, it just makes me laugh how bad it is. Anyway, as always, I like to start with a fairly thick line, and we can clean it up as we go. And this character is the father to the main character, Icarus. And his name is Slith. And they have no last name. And he is a curator of the museum. I don't want to spoil too much, so I won't say too much about him. But he has purple and gold eyes, as where Icarus has gold and purple eyes. There's a very big difference. And Icarus never had a chance to meet his mother because she kind of abandoned both of them before he hatched. So as a hatchling, the first person he met was his father. And he's a interesting character. He helps Icarus find out that he's actually a telepath. But then something happens. Dun, dun, dun. Anyway, I don't want to spoil that too much. So I found that I want to draw him as a thinner character, but all of the Vecratoi, the snake characters, or half snake people, they're all fairly ripped. They all have like well-defined muscles. You know, a snake is pretty much pure muscle, real snakes anyway. So these guys are kind of follow in that vein as just being like pure muscle to them. So they're all very buff. But he was too buff. So I end up tweaking that a bit and skinning him up because I also didn't like the proportions that he had. So I was just keeping those shitty hand references out to the side for now. Now I'm actually looking at my own hand and in the position to do that, to get a little bit more detailed. I got those, you can see those muscles, those tendons within the wrist, quite defined, so he's on the thinner side of things, you can see. But I didn't like the way his chest was proportioned, so I just made it a little more bulkier. Doing the cylinders, because he's curving around. I like the flow of him, the way he went. Very long Vecratoi. Each of them, they use like different methods of getting around. Like they use more proportion on the base of them to stand around. Some of them like to be up tall and noble, and others are lower to the ground so that they can have more quicker movements. Just going over again, adding in the nails. Make him look all scary. He is quite scary looking, isn't he? Look at that. Would you want to meet this? How tall is he? What is he, 7 feet tall? Almost 7 feet. Giant snake creature. Us poor humans, you know, we got the we don't have time on our sides, that's for sure. So we have that urgency to get things done. As were the Vecratoi, they're quite long lived. Like they're basically the elves of my world. I haven't had any elves in my world, but there's definitely going to be all the races, and little jokes, a nipple smile there. I'm definitely going to have like lots of homebrew races that I've come up with. There's a whole pantheon of them. And I'll explain a little bit about each of them as we go. But yeah, these ones, the god of time had a little part to play in their creation. And right now I'm just creating my own little brush so that I can fill it in the scales and have it look more legit. I'm just giving him a little, like a brown base tone, but that's definitely not going to be his end tone. I want him to be more colorful and with these, like that blue. I really like the way that blue turned out. And so I kind of edit the pattern a little bit and just filling things in. And I ended up deciding to go on like a solid fill for his chest portion. I ended up having this nice purplish color that I found that I really enjoyed. So I'm going in with some oranges and some yellows and a little bit of yellowish green tint to it. It's a nice color, but I don't end up using the end. I like to play around with colors and see what looks interesting. But I knew that he had to have the purple underbelly. That was for sure. I just played with some scale pattern just for fun there, but discarded the idea rather quickly. And here I wanted to change the proportions. Like I said, he was looking too thick. I didn't really like how thick he was. I wanted to make him a little bit more thin and not so huge, right? Because I do have there are other characters that will be like monstrous. There's one of them, the captain's brother is just absolutely huge. He's almost as wide as he is long, kind of thing, in my description of him. And so now I'm just using the copy and paste tool to like paint. I love the copy paste tool. Like, it's just so fantastic. And now I'm making another brush to fill his underbelly in, just different kind of patterns. There's a nice purple. I like to save the brushes that I make just in case I ever want to use them. It's neat. There's doing some clone stamping, and I like that blue color, so I kind of wanted to come off of his chest a little bit, and I'm just, pardon me, painting in his mouth, make him look like he's ready to bite ya. And I've rigged up some of these characters to the puppets so that I can do some simple animations on them, animate my story. I'm really excited for that part, but you can't animate anything till you get your characters. So I'm just going in with shadowing a little bit and give him some more depth and look a little bit more realistic. And in the end, I end up adding a little bit of shadow to each of his underbelly lines, just make it look even more realistic, and end up changing the angle of my my light source a little bit. Once I'm doing the highlights, I decided to have it shine up from more kind of like the top left a little bit, allowing me to like color in his abdomen and highlight it up. And now we're on to the highlight layer. Just draw it in, fill it on out. Look at those lovely abs. I like those. It's got a little bit more abs than normal. A little shine on the tip of his tail. His backside. And there we go. Now I'm just going to do the last final touches, cleaning it up. Everything that went outside the lines and shouldn't be. And I'm playing around with the layer a little bit, just the type of layer that it is. And I end up deciding that I like what I've done. And just a little bit of final cleanup, and here we go. Yeah, we have Slith, father to Icarus. Lovely. Well, I hope you've enjoyed it. Have yourselves a lovely day, and we'll see you next time.